I'm not white, I'm not British, I'm not English. So all the excuses you have, we have to knock it on his head today. Because you made the sacrifice. You could have wrapped yourself in a quilt. This morning, it was cold. That's why the person that was supposed to pick us up didn't wake up in time. It's cold. So don't leave your home except you mean business. Even if we paid you to come here today, it's still a big sacrifice. And I'm not going to let you go back thinking the way you thought before you came in here. You can't. You can't. You just can't. It's just too late. So bring out your mobile devices, bring out your tablet, bring out your phone, and we're giving you free Wi-Fi here. Don't use your don't use your data. I want you to use our data here. So that's why we're giving you that data. So that your wife will see what we're saying now that couldn't come, and your business associate will see it that couldn't come, and they will know that the job they are doing now, they are underperforming by how many percent? 800%. 800%. They're underperforming. Every employee you have, if you're in business, is underperforming by 800%. Now, if you're a student, the last grades you got, you were underperforming by 800%. That means if you wrote any test and somebody said you got 20%, that person did not assess your ability. That person could not have accessed your ability. That person could not have accessed your capability. That person could not have accessed your capacity. I'll tell you what that person accessed. And I'm going to prove it to you now. We're going to do some exercises, real exercises, and you'll find out. You saw me, how many of you have seen me with Michelle Obama book? Okay, thank you. How many of you know how many pages are in that book? 400 plus. How many of you know, how long will it take you to read that book? How many? A week. Can you see why I'm saying that you are 100% underperforming? A week? All right? If you are still alive at 11 a.m. this morning, if you're still alive, we will demonstrate to you that you just wasted a week of your life. There's what is called speed reading. You know speed reading? Yeah. Someone that reads very fast. When Parliament published when they gave their publication out on the Article 50, the MPs were still reading the third page when we had finished the entire book. That's the reason why Parliament invited me. How many of you saw me in Parliament on Article 50? Or on Article 50 Day? How many of you follow me on Facebook? Wait, you follow me on Facebook. So you on Facebook. I'm going to follow me on Twitter. Okay, on Instagram. On LinkedIn. How many of you don't follow me anywhere? I'm not on social media. Okay, what planet are you? If you're not on social media, we need to get a doctor to give you a quick injection. Because you've been anesthetized out of this life. Seriously. If you're not on social media, you know, mothers in the room will tell you this. When you're having a birth, they ask you, how do you want to be anesthetized, right? When you want to take gas, you want to take epidural, they'll kill you, right? They kill you so that they can bring the baby to life. Now, if you're not using the technology I'm mentioning, they have killed you. I have to bring you back to life. They just killed you. They just killed you. That's the truth. If you came here with pen and paper, they killed you. So I have to wake you up to life. And all your fears you have about social media are false evidence appearing real. Fear. That's what your fear about social media is. F for fear, which is false. Evidence, which is E. Appearing, which is A. Real. That's what your fear is. There's nothing you can fear about social media after today because you made the sacrifice. I don't care. I know some of you paid the VIP ticket, others you paid the discounted ticket. It doesn't matter what ticket you bought. The fact that you came this morning through this code, you must know this. That if you're on social media, you don't have to be yourself. How many of you know that? You can use your father's great-grandfather's first name and your father's first name. So you can use two aliases and they will never know. You don't have to put your photograph there. If you like Nelson Mandela, you put Nelson Mandela's photograph there. If you like Barack Obama, you put Barack Obama's photograph there. If you like your cat, you take a photograph of your cat. Today, smiling, you put it there. Tomorrow, your cat walking, you take it there. You don't have to put your photographs there. So I don't know when people say, no, I'm very private, I'm not on social media. No. No. Somebody fooled you. That's why you say you're not on social media. If you like hair, take the photograph of the back of your hair. You know the back of your hair? And put it there. Who is going to recognize the back of your hair? Tell me. If you like designer, take the photograph of Christian Dior and put it there today. Tomorrow, take another photograph of Christian Dior and put it there. So you can take photographs of abstract things and load them with your Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. So you don't have to put your photograph there. Did you understand what I'm saying? Because we've done this course where we do what is called a boot camp in Cambridge for a whole weekend. You come in on Friday, all day Saturday. By the time you leave on Sunday, you're looking for giants to slay. Okay? Well, again, we repeated it in Oxford. We alternated between Oxford and Cambridge. It's a whole weekend. It's a whole weekend experience. On Friday, we start at 7 a.m. We don't finish until 9 p.m. And when you go back to your room, you still have assignments to do. And the next morning, we start at 7 a.m. again. And we're all our way to what? 9:30 p.m. By the time you wake up the third day, you are giddy. And then when you come back, when you re-enter life, everyone in the office will be asking what happened to you. Because if you came to that program as a cleaner, when you go back to your office, you want to be a board member. It's transformational. We show you the essential characteristics of the people that rule your company, and then the characteristics that you have suppressed or repressed. Because you suppress those characteristics, you say, no, I'm only a cleaner, I'm only here, I can't do anything apart from cleaning. Then when you now have what we know you're going to get today, number one, if you went on Eventbrite, number one was tools, right? Number two was techniques. Number three was technology. And number four was tutelage. Because when you we don't teach this anywhere. Have you ever heard me teach this on Facebook Live? You only see snippets on Facebook, brief snippets on, and you get excited, you think you've got it all. No, you haven't gotten anything at all. On Facebook, it's just child's play. When I see you face to face, no, you can't go through that door the way you came in here. You can't. Because you then have a thorough understanding of who you are. It's not about me. It has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you. And has everything to do with the fact that you have always been working at snail speed. Snail speed, when really you could have flown by jet. Because we all have the options. We can say we are going to New York today. I hope those of you that came late, this is the announcement. You cannot write anything I'm writing down now in pen or paper. It's an offense. In fact, it's a step harder. It's a sin against God and man and Allah and Buddha and whoever you see as your creator. It's number one sin. The reason is that your grandfather, your great-grandfather, if they were here 50 years ago, they'd be writing pen and paper. 100 years ago, it'd be pen and paper. 200 years ago, it'd be pen and paper. But now, we have the tablet. You know Moses? Moses, we call it Musa in the Quran. Moses went up to the mountain and God gave him the tablet. And written on that tablet was what? The rules and the guidance that would guide all of us to achieve what is destined for each of us individually. But he came down and somebody said he stumbled. No, he didn't stumble. He got down and smashed that tablet. So what did Microsoft do? What did Samsung do? What did Apple do? They gave us a new tablet. It's a new tablet because on your tablet there is a software. You can write on it. You can download the software. You write on your tablet, and it automatically converts it to text. And then you hit enter, and it gets tweeted. So everything you are hearing here today is not for you alone. Even if you're living alone, it's not for you alone. It's for you and whoever you work with, whoever you play with, whoever you hold so dear, because you love them, you will do what they are telling you to do. You won't do the right thing. How many of us have done something different just because our partner told us, and we love our partner, we didn't want to upset our partner? How many of us done that? How many of us done something different because we just love our parents, we didn't want to upset them, we just did it. And later we found out that we were wrong. How many of us did that? Okay, thank you. Those of you that didn't put up your hands, I have a lie detector machine in the back of that room. Because every psychologist has done the study, every human being has compromised on their principles because someone they love told them something. Someone they really, they know has their best interest at heart told them something. But it turned out to be wrong. So if you're coming in now, please bring out your iPhone, your Samsung phone, or any phone you have, log into the hotel's Wi-Fi. And I'll show you, if you're struggling to, I'll show you how to log into the hotel's Wi-Fi in a minute. Log into the hotel's, it doesn't require any password. It doesn't require any username. It doesn't require any email. We pay for all of that. You just need to use it. Why? Because anything you hear from me now that will determine the way you change the way you do things, you need to tweet it, put it there, or share it on Facebook with your mother that is not here. Because when you get home, say, Mommy, I saw this guy today. So what did he say? You woke up so early. Where did you go? Say, no, I went to see this guy. They said he's this, he's that, he's done this, he's done that. He makes men walk on water, and he can get anybody to pass any exam. He can get any poor person to be rich, and it's a miracle worker. So, are you sure? Say yes. So, how did you know? Say, look at it. This is exactly what it says. And then they're going to challenge. So, the reason why I'm telling you to Facebook Live, if your friends see it, or your wife sees it, or your husband sees it and has a question, they will type the question into the comment box. And during the break, you're going to start and say, look, I'm happy to go with you, but my wife said this is not possible because a friend tried it this way. Or my husband said this is not possible. Or my sister said this is not possible. Or my teacher said this is not possible. There is always somebody that is said it, right? And after all they've said, they haven't done anything. But I don't want you to hear anything. I want you to do things. I want you to be able to do things. So set your phone right now on Twitter. Set your phone on Facebook. Set it on Instagram. Your favorite social media. Set it on LinkedIn. And tell everyone that you woke up so early and you want to gain something today. Okay, the first exercise. How many of us here speak more than one language? Thank you. Keep it up. Keep it up. Okay, how many of you didn't hear me? How many of you speak more than one language? You know you speak more than one language. You speak more than one language? Thank you. Of those of you that put up your hand, how many of you make money from both languages? Or both cultures? Yeah, 3. From both cultures. That means you speak French and you speak English. And so you live in London, but you also do some translation. Or you do interpretation. So only 3 people. So can you see already that you are leaving some, leaving some money on the table? Because if you are sure you speak another language, you should have 2 economies. One economy in French, and then you will have your own what's so-called email to go with it. I'll just show you this. For instance, most of you have my email. So you say prof.chris@yahoo.com. That is one economic domain. There's a second economic domain, which is prof.chris@yahoo.co.uk. Who understands the difference between these 2? Okay, can you tell me what's the difference between?
The .co.uk means that it shows that you live in the UK, you're based in the UK, whereas .com is like much more available without citing.
Okay. And you married to an American? Do you love America?
I have family.
Probably. I'll forgive you. Because she says .com means is universal. I know someone will pick up a fight with that. Who else can tell me difference between the two? Between?
.com is an American domain, .uk is a British.
Thank you. Look, now, the reason you might think that is just a joke, it's not. It's not a joke. Many wars have been fought on that explanation. Do you know why? The Americans were not happy with the English because the English invented the first postal system. Because the English invented the first postal system, they made the world around England. So when you were selling stamps, if you buy an American stamp, it will have to say USA. If you buy a Belgian stamp, it will have to say Belgium. If you buy any African country stamp, they will put the name of the country there. But if you buy a British stamp, there is no country. What's on the British stamp? The head of the Queen or the head of the monarch. They own the postal system. They invented pigeons, and they were able to guide pigeons to carry letters from one place to the other. That's why they became the epicenter of the distribution system on the whole planet. True. When the internet came along, the Americans said, we're going to have our own bank. The Americans orchestrated, I didn't say they invented, they orchestrated the email system and said that they must now be the epicenter of all distribution of mails. So when you send a mail from your computer to another person's computer in London, they first have to go through an American server. Who's heard about Edward Snowden? Edward Snowden? Please read all about his articles. You see that there. It's true. It's 100% true. Therefore, I should make dollars with this, right? Therefore, I should make pounds with this. Is that true? Now I'm talking the economics, you were just talking about generalities. Therefore, when I build a website and end with a .co.uk, the English person is very comfortable doing business with me because he understands I'm local. If I end with a .com, the American is very comfortable doing business with me because he belongs in local. Now, those of you that speak French, how do you speak French? All of, thank you, the French person in the room. Look at what would happen if I wanted to Brexitize my product. You saw me talking about Brexit and talking about why you must make, because you've already lost 10 million. How many of you in this room made 1 million from when they took the vote on Brexit? 1 million, nobody. Okay, when they triggered Article 50, how many of you made 1 million? Nobody. Now, somebody took your money, so better run after them. Somebody took your money. Okay, now, if you were really keen on making $1 million, you would have prof.chris@yahoo.what? Now, check that out on your tablet now. I'm not making it up. Do you know why? The French people that comes to your website will be very comfortable. They say, this is a French website, this is a French person, because we all deal with the person we know or the people we relate to. We don't deal with strangers. Because we don't know whether they're going to fleece us. If you know me, you trust me, you will be able to ask me questions, and you take my answers seriously. If you don't trust me, you're not going to ask me questions, because you know I'm going to lie to you, I'm going to wind you up. So if you wanted to make money from Brexit, this is your first step. It's very easy. You now denominate this in what currency? Euro. Does that make any sense so far? Are you sure? Do you know why people make $1 million at least when the Brexit original vote was taken on the 23rd of June 2016? Do you know why now? You do. Because what happened to the pound? What happened to the pound? It dropped. So if I had a book I was selling for £9.99 and I sold it that day, what happened to my £9.99 compared to the euro? It dropped. Compared to the dollar, it dropped. What if I have free websites, right? And then I promote the website that is of a stronger currency. What happens to it? It's a game. After you, how many of you read the Financial Times? You know the pinkish paper? Financial Times? Okay. How many of you read the Metro? Okay. I hope you don't believe the Metro. I hope you find out everything the Metro writes. If you're a business person, and if you want to make money, and if you want to learn. I hope you understand that. Because on Tuesday night, some of us did not sleep. You know, there was chaos, supposedly chaos on Monday. Those of you that follow me on Twitter and Facebook have seen what was happening in Parliament. And you all were following what was happening. Is that true? I hope you follow what happens in Parliament, because they decide how much you earn and how much you take home. If the Chancellor raises the taxes, do you know what happens? You take less home. So please, Parliament is not about politics, it's about economics. Can you write that down? Parliament is not about politics, it's about your economy, That means how well you live. Because they can pass one silly act to tomorrow and will make the pound drop like a stone, and the products you have now, if I'm going to search each of you right now, and look at the products you came here with, 90% of them are made where? In China. China does not spend pounds. They spend yen, right? Yuan or renminbi, right? Depending on whether you look on it, right? So, if anything affects the pound, what happens to your products that you have now? Yes. Your phone, you know the iPhone? You know they keep telling you the iPhone is an American product? You know that's number one lie. You know they say IBM is an American firm? You know that's number one lie. You know they say the FT is a British paper? You know that's another lie. Who knows that the FT is not owned by an English firm? Thank you. So, even the news we have is filtered towards, through another country. So, do you understand what I'm saying? So, if you have a product or you have services, not if, all of you, when you came through that door, where's the youngest person? That young girl there, how old are you? 6. She has a product. She has a service. You want me to prove it to you?
Yes.
If she phones her grandmother now, is your grandmother in this country? What product do you think she's going to sell to her grandmother? What product do you think she can sell to her grandmother? Who can tell? Tell me. What product can she sell? Lean wheat stick still. Is that true? Does she speak the same way as your grandparents? Does she speak the same way as your grandparents? As her grandparents? No. If you want to learn a brand new language, the best person to teach you, the quickest pace is a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, or a 7-year-old. Not your French teacher in school. Your French teacher in school follows the curriculum. The 4 or 5 years old just teaches you functional language. So if she records the way she speaks, and she shares it with her grandparents, do you know what happens? Her grandparents love her. They totally love her. They listen to her. Experiment with this at home, because they talk about generational communication and intergenerational communication. They'll listen to her because they're grandchild. They know that she's honest and she's sweet. I said, no, Grandma, that's not how you pronounce it. No, pronounce it this way. Have you heard children saying that? Yeah. That's teaching, boy. That's teaching. It's called elocution. Type it down, elocution. So do you understand what I mean? That 6-year-old has a product. She's a great elocution teacher. Because she understands the language with a different accent. And she can relate that. And when, Grandma, what did you mean by that? I said, no, it's not called football, it's soccer, all right? It's soccer. Have you heard them say that? Because the child is trying to update you. And how many of you have mobile phones? How many of you have ever left your mobile phone where a 4 or 5 year or 6 year old is? What do they do to it? They take ownership of it. They download apps that you never ever bought. They know the phone more than you. You just have the receipt and proof that you own the phone, but they really, really can fool you and lock you out. They can change it. This far, it's a good thing you've watched the video this far. It shows how much you're interested in investing in your future. And we're pleased that we're partners with you in this journey of success. It's guaranteed success. So now that you've heard that video, you've watched the segment of the video, you need to take action. You can't just go to the next section. No, you must not. You have to email us. Email us what? 3 new things you learned from the last segment. 3. 1, 2, 3 things. Just list it. 1, 2, 3 bullet points. Then you go on and write 5 different lessons you gained. Lessons you gained. So you write it, number 1, and then you write a little paragraph. And then number 2, then you don't worry about your expression. Don't worry about your English. We are not interested in your linguistic ability. We are interested in the foundations of changing your life. So you write 5 points, and then you explain 1, 2, 3, or 5. And then the last part of this assignment is the implementation bit. You now write 2 things you're going to do differently based on the information you have. So how are you going to impact your current habit? How are you going to develop brand new habits? Because you've heard me explain this before. People get information. That's you store it in your brain. People get inspiration. It gets into their hand. They're ready to go. Then they have to have instruction. This is where most people fail. Once you have instruction, then you have implementation before you have impact. I know you can't find that anywhere. You can't get it to read anywhere. This is a product of years of our own research, and the various students we work with are now captains of industry. So I want you to do that. I repeat, thanks for working through the video. Now prove to me that you've heard what was in that video by writing 3 things you knew. 3 things you just learned up now, right? 3 things you discovered, or 3 things, 1, 2, 3. And after writing the 3 things, you know what you need to do? You need to write 5 different lessons learned, gained. 5, number 1, number 2, number 3. Number 1, then you write a little paragraph. Number 2, you write a little paragraph. Number 3, you write a little paragraph. Until you get to the 5th one. Once you've done the 5th, you now turn the page over. Or go to the next page if you use the Word document. Alright? 2 things you are going to do differently. So 2 things you would do with your life. 2 things you would do with your work, with your thinking. Better go back and watch the video if you can. 2 things, action points. You must put the action points so that you do it differently. And then email all of this to us. I've told you before, we are here to partner with you. Just email it to the email on the scroll now. Email it to us. Email it to us, and we will hold your hand and we'll guide you to be able to support you. I thank you for investing so much in your development. Thank you for inviting us to partner with you in getting to that journey. On this journey of success, and making sure we get to our destination that is guaranteed success. So thank you. Continue watching, and keep being in touch, because we're here for you, and we're here to help, support, and encourage you.